What if the greatest adventures of your life have no maps, and the most magnificent destinations are reached by paths yet to be made? What if the fear of an unknown future is the only thing truly holding you back? The Stoics teach that bravery is not the absence of fear, but a skill that can be forged in the fires of uncertainty. Skills to embrace uncertainty. Stoic Bravery, Mind Growth. Compiled and published by Stoic Ruler. Lesson 1. Inner stability amid outer chaos. Imagine the vast, deep ocean. On its surface, a hurricane may be raging, a violent, chaotic spectacle of wind and waves. Yet, if you could descend into its profound depths, you would discover a world of immense calm, a powerful, undisturbed stillness that is completely unaffected by the surface turmoil. This is the Stoic model for the human mind. The inner conflict we face is our mistaken belief that our inner state must mirror the outer world. We believe that if the world is chaotic, we must be chaotic. If the future is uncertain, we must be anxious. The problem is that the world is, by its very nature, a place of constant change and chaos. By tying our inner peace to external conditions, we sentence ourselves to a life of perpetual anxiety, tossed about by every wave of circumstance. The pain is a life without a calm center, a feeling of being constantly overwhelmed. The transformative solution is to stop focusing on calming the storm on the surface, and instead learn to access the profound stillness of your own depths. It is the conscious cultivation of an inner center of gravity, a core of stability that is entirely independent of external chaos. The core idea is that while we cannot control the weather in the world, we can absolutely control the climate in our minds. The Stoic seeks to build an inner citadel so robust and tranquil that the storms of life can rage against its walls without ever disturbing the peace within. This inner stability is the essential foundation for facing uncertainty with courage. To begin building this inner stability, you must practice grounding yourself before you engage with the world's chaos. This can begin with a simple 5-minute morning practice. Before you check your phone or expose yourself to the day's news, take the time to sit in silence. Focus on the rhythm of your breath. Feel the stillness in your own core. This is an act of calibration. You are intentionally tuning your mind to a frequency of calm before it gets bombarded by the frequencies of chaos. By starting your day from this place of inner quiet, you are far less likely to be thrown off balance by the day's unpredictable events. The benefit of this practice is the development of a deep and abiding sense of personal equilibrium. You will begin to move through a chaotic world with a sense of calm authority, no longer a victim of its unpredictable nature. The positive transformation is from being a small boat tossed on the waves to becoming the deep ocean itself, capable of holding any storm on its surface while remaining profoundly still within. Your call to action is to try this tomorrow morning. Before your day begins, gift yourself 5 minutes of intentional silence. Feel your own inner stability. This is the continuous journey of finding your calm center amid the chaos. This inner stability is the foundation upon which all other skills are built. From here, we must confront our flawed relationship with control. Our next lesson delves into the liberation of letting go. To continue building your inner citadel, please subscribe to Stoic Ruler and like this video. Lesson 2. Letting go of the illusion of control. Imagine a master puppeteer on a grand stage. He skillfully controls the puppets in his hands, making them dance and tell a story. But now imagine this puppeteer becomes consumed by a frantic desire to control everything. Not just his puppets, but the reactions of every audience member, the temperature of the theater, and the weather outside. He runs manically from one thing to another, his performance falling apart as he tries to grasp 1,000 strings that were never his to hold. This frantic puppeteer is our mind when it is in the grip of the illusion of control. The inner conflict is our deep-seated desire to manage every variable of our lives, to eliminate all uncertainty by forcing every outcome. The problem is that this is a complete illusion. The vast majority of the world is outside our command. In chasing total control, we guarantee ourselves a life of total anxiety, burnout, and a profound sense of failure when reality inevitably proves us wrong. The transformative solution is to willingly let go of the strings that are not yours. It is the courageous embrace of the Stoic dichotomy of control, the most practical tool for a peaceful mind. The core idea, taught by Epictetus, is simple but life-altering. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. Our energy, focus, and concern should be invested exclusively in the first category: our own thoughts, our own judgments, our own actions. To waste a single drop of energy worrying about or trying to manipulate the things that are not up to us is the very definition of insanity. Letting go of this illusion is not an act of weakness. It is an act of supreme wisdom and strategic focus. To put this liberating principle into practice, you must become a vigilant sorter of your concerns. Throughout your day, whenever you feel the tension of anxiety or worry, pause and categorize the issue. Ask yourself, is this my business or not my business? The opinions of others are not your business. The future of the economy is not your business. The past is not your business. Your effort, your integrity, your response in this present moment, these are your business. By consciously making this distinction, you can choose to withdraw your precious mental and emotional resources from the unwinnable battles and redirect them to the arena where you are truly sovereign. The benefit of this practice is an immense and immediate feeling of lightness and freedom. The weight of the world lifts from your shoulders because you are no longer trying to carry it. The positive transformation is from being a frantic, exhausted puppeteer to becoming a calm, focused master of your own craft. You become far more effective in life because your energy is no longer squandered. Your motivational practice is to take your biggest worry right now and apply this filter. Divide its components into what is up to you and what is not. Resolve to focus 100% of your energy on what is up to you and to radically accept the rest. This is the continuous journey toward a life of focused tranquility. Letting go of control can feel frightening. It leaves us face to face with our fear of the unknown. Our next lesson teaches us how to transform that raw fear into a powerful, rational focus. To learn this skill, share your thoughts below and subscribe. Lesson 3. Turning fear into rational focus. Imagine a watchman on a high castle wall, peering into the darkness. He sees a flicker of movement in the distant trees. This is the moment fear is born. The untrained watchman has two options. He can either run through the castle screaming in panic that doom is upon them, or he can freeze, paralyzed by indecision. Both are useless. The trained watchman, however, feels the same initial jolt of fear, but he immediately channels that energy. He calmly picks up his spyglass to get a clear look at the potential threat. He assesses its size, speed, and direction. He then develops a series of calm, rational, and strategic plans. He has turned the raw, chaotic energy of fear into a sharp, clear, and powerful focus. The inner conflict we face is that we usually act like the untrained watchman. The problem is that unfocused fear, anxiety, panic, worry, is a terrible advisor. It clouds our judgment, exhausts our spirit, and leads to poor, reactive decisions. The transformative solution is to become the trained watchman. It is the discipline of acknowledging fear not as a command to panic, but as a signal to focus. The core Stoic idea is that the initial feeling of fear is a natural, physiological response. It is what we do with that jolt of energy that matters. We can allow it to degrade into a state of debilitating anxiety, or we can harness it as fuel for rational preparation and analysis. This is the art of transforming a potential weakness into a formidable strength. To practice this emotional alchemy, you can use the Stoic technique of premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, as a focusing lens. When you feel the vague anxiety of an uncertain future, do not let it fester. Instead, take out a journal and confront it directly. Write down the specific thing you are afraid of. Then, go further. What is the absolute worst-case scenario? Write it down in detail. By putting the shapeless phantom of fear into concrete words, you rob it of its mystery and power. Then, for each part of that worst-case scenario, write down a specific, practical, and rational action you could take to mitigate it or endure it. This act transforms vague, paralyzing anxiety into a clear, actionable plan. You have channeled the heat of fear into the light of focus. The benefit of this practice is a profound sense of empowerment. You are no longer a victim of your anxieties, but an active strategist preparing for life's challenges. The positive transformation is from being a person who is haunted by the future to being a person who is prepared for it. You will find that the very act of creating a rational plan dramatically reduces the emotional power of the fear itself. Your call to action is to choose one fear that is causing you anxiety. Take 15 minutes today to perform this exercise. Confront it, define it, and make a rational plan to deal with it. This is the continuous process of turning fear into your ally. This transformation from fear to focus is a supreme act of courage. But courage is not something we just have. It is something we must build. Our next lesson explores how to treat courage as a daily discipline. Subscribe to our channel to learn how to build your bravery muscle. Lesson 4. Courage as a daily discipline. Imagine thinking you could become physically strong by simply waiting for a life or death situation to arise where you need to lift a heavy object. The idea is absurd. Strength is built through consistent daily training, lifting smaller weights day after day to gradually build capacity. Yet this is precisely how most of us approach the virtue of courage. We think of it as a mythical quality, a roaring lion we must summon for a single heroic moment of crisis. The inner conflict is that we admire courage, but we do not practice it. The problem is that when the great test arrives, we find our courage muscle is weak and atrophied from a lifetime of disuse. The pain is the feeling of failure and self-reproach when we shrink from a challenge we know we should have faced. The transformative solution is to completely reframe your understanding of courage. Courage is not a lion you summon, it is a muscle you build. The core Stoic idea is that courage, like all virtues, is a product of habit and discipline. It is forged not in the single grand gesture, but in the countless small, daily choices to face discomfort, to act in spite of fear, and to choose the right path over the easy one. A life of bravery is the cumulative result of a daily discipline of being brave. To begin this daily training, you must start looking for your personal gym. Your daily life is filled with opportunities to perform small repetitions that build the courage muscle. This is the practice of voluntary discomfort. You can choose to take a cold shower in the morning, deliberately facing a moment of physical adversity. You can choose to speak up with a thoughtful idea in a meeting, facing the small fear of judgment. You can choose to have a difficult but necessary conversation you have been avoiding. Each time you deliberately step outside your comfort zone, no matter how small the step, you are performing a rep. You are telling your nervous system and your character that you are the kind of person who moves toward challenges, not away from them. The benefit of this daily discipline is the development of a genuine and reliable courage. It becomes a part of your character, not a quality you have to desperately search for in a crisis. The positive transformation is from being a person who hopes they will be brave when it counts, to being a person who knows they are brave because they practice it every day. You will develop a quiet confidence in your ability to handle whatever life throws at you. Your motivational practice is to choose your one rep for today. What is one small, uncomfortable thing you can do on purpose to build your courage? Do it. This is the continuous journey of becoming the person you were meant to be. This daily courage prepares our mind to accept the one thing we all struggle with, the unpredictability of the future. Our next lesson focuses on the art of accepting outcomes we cannot control. To continue building your courage, please like this video and subscribe. Lesson 5. Acceptance of unpredictable outcomes. Let us revisit the image of the master archer. She has done everything within her power to perfect the shot. Her stance is solid, her breath is controlled, her aim is true, her release is flawless. This entire process is within her control. However, the moment the arrow leaves the bow, the outcome is no longer entirely hers. A sudden gust of wind, an unseen branch, 1,000 tiny variables are now at play. The inner conflict we face is that we are like an archer who has chained their happiness to the arrow itself. We live in agonized suspense, our peace entirely dependent on whether the arrow hits the bullseye. The problem with this mindset is that it makes our happiness a fragile, unpredictable thing, wholly dependent on external factors we can never fully command. If the outcome is not precisely what we wanted, we declare the entire effort a failure. The transformative solution is to learn to fall in love with the shot, not the target. It is the Stoic discipline of shifting your focus and your definition of success from the external outcome to the internal process. The core idea is that our true work, our virtue, lies in the quality of our own effort and intention. The Stoic archer finds her pride and contentment in the excellence of her shot, in the focused mind, the disciplined body, and the virtuous intention. Hitting the target is a preferred outcome, but it is a bonus that is outside the realm of her complete control. Her success was already secured in the perfect execution of her part of the process. To apply this profound principle, you must consciously redefine your goals before you begin any task with an uncertain outcome. Whether it is a business venture, a creative project, or a difficult conversation, you must set your primary intention on the quality of your input. Before you begin, you can say to yourself, "My job is to approach this with focus, courage, and integrity. My success will be measured by the quality of my effort, not by the reaction of the world." After the event, you must then judge yourself by this internal scorecard. This practice detaches your self-worth from the volatile and unpredictable whims of fortune. The benefit of this practice is the development of a fearless and resilient spirit. You will be able to take on great challenges without being paralyzed by the fear of failure, because you have redefined failure. As long as you give your best effort and act with virtue, you cannot fail. The positive transformation is from being an anxious gambler whose happiness rises and falls with every turn of the card, to becoming a master craftsman who finds deep and abiding satisfaction in the quality of their own work. Your call to action is to take one upcoming task and consciously apply this reframe. Define your success by your effort alone. This is the continuous journey of finding peace in the process. To accept unpredictable outcomes, our minds must be able to adapt. Our next lesson explores how mental flexibility is the key to true strength. Subscribe to our channel to learn how to become the Stoic archer. Lesson 6. Mental flexibility builds true strength. Imagine a powerful storm sweeping through a forest. A great, rigid oak tree, proud and unbending, stands firm against the wind. But the wind is too powerful, and with a great crack, the mighty oak is snapped in two. Nearby, a slender willow tree, possessing a different kind of strength, bends and sways with the wind. It yields where it must, its branches dancing in the storm, but its roots hold firm. When the storm passes, the willow tree still stands. The inner conflict we face is our tendency to be like the oak tree. We create rigid plans, fixed expectations, and inflexible identities. We think, "This is how my life must go. This is who I am." The problem is that when the inevitable storm of an unpredictable reality hits, a rigid mind, like a rigid tree, breaks. It cannot adapt to unforeseen circumstances, and so it becomes brittle and fragile. The transformative solution is to cultivate the supple, resilient strength of the willow tree. It is the practice of developing mental flexibility. The core idea is that true strength is not found in rigidity, but in adaptability. The Stoics understood that the universe is in a constant state of flux. To be wise is to be able to move with this flow, not to stand rigidly against it. This means holding our plans and beliefs firmly enough to give us direction, but loosely enough to allow for course corrections when reality provides new information. A flexible mind is a strong mind. To develop this mental flexibility, you must practice challenging your own certainties. Actively seek out perspectives that differ from your own, not to argue with them, but to understand them. This practice, a form of intellectual humility, keeps your mind open and adaptable. Furthermore, when one of your plans is inevitably disrupted by an unexpected event, you must train yourself to immediately pivot from frustration to curiosity. Instead of thinking, "My plan is ruined," you must ask, "What is the new opportunity that this disruption has created?" This question forces your mind out of its rigid groove and into a creative, adaptive state. The benefit of this practice is a dramatic increase in your ability to thrive in an uncertain world. You will become a masterful problem solver, able to find a new path when the old one is blocked. The positive transformation is from being a person who is constantly stressed and broken by life's unpredictability to being a person who dances with it, finding strength and even joy in its dynamic nature. Your motivational exercise is to think of a plan you have for this week. Now, spend 5 minutes brainstorming what you would do if that plan were completely disrupted. This is the continuous practice of becoming the willow tree. This flexible strength is what allows us to act effectively, even when we cannot see the path ahead. Our final lesson is about taking calm, deliberate action in the midst of uncertainty. To complete your training in Stoic bravery, please subscribe to our channel. Lesson 7. Calm action in uncertain times. Imagine a skilled surgeon in the middle of a complex and critical operation. Alarms may be sounding, unforeseen complications may arise, and the patient's future is uncertain. The surgeon's team might feel a surge of panic, but the surgeon herself remains a picture of calm action. She does not freeze, nor does she flail about in a panic. Her hands are steady, her mind is focused. Her actions are precise, deliberate, and directed only at the very next necessary step. She does not allow the chaos of the situation to become chaos in her mind. This is the ultimate expression of Stoic bravery. The inner conflict we face in uncertain times is our instinct to either freeze in paralysis or to engage in frantic, panicked action. The problem is that both of these responses are profoundly ineffective. Paralysis ensures failure, and panicked action only creates more chaos. The transformative solution, the culmination of all the skills we have discussed, is to learn to take calm, deliberate action, even when the future is completely obscure. The core idea is that in times of great uncertainty, we must radically narrow our field of vision. We must stop trying to solve the entire complex problem at once. Instead, we must focus all our mental and physical energy on doing the very next right thing with excellence and tranquility. The journey of 1,000 miles, especially one through a thick fog, is taken one single, well-placed step at a time. To put this powerful principle into practice, you must learn to ask yourself one simple question when you feel overwhelmed by uncertainty. What is the one small, productive action I can take in the next 5 minutes? Ignore the larger problem for a moment. Forget about next week or next year. Just focus on the immediate now. Is it sending one email? Is it doing one push-up? Is it reading one page of a book? Identify that one small action and then execute it with your full calm attention. Once that is done, you can ask the question again. This process breaks the paralysis of overwhelm and replaces it with a steady rhythm of calm, productive action. The benefit of this practice is that it allows you to move forward effectively, even when you feel most lost. It is the ultimate antidote to the paralysis of fear. The positive transformation is from being a person who is overwhelmed by the complexity of life to being a person who can calmly and effectively navigate any situation, one step at a time. You become the surgeon in the storm, a force for calm and order in a chaotic world. Your final call to action is to apply this right now. Think of the area of your life with the most uncertainty. Ask yourself, what is the one small, calm action I can take immediately? Then do it. This is the continuous journey of walking the path of the Stoic. Today, we have learned the essential skills to disarm the fear of uncertainty. By building inner stability, letting go of what we cannot control, and taking calm, courageous action, we transform ourselves from victims of circumstance into masters of our own response. Thank you for joining this journey towards Stoic bravery. If these lessons have helped you, please like this video, share your next calm action in the comments, and subscribe to Stoic Ruler for more tools for a fearless life.